Hey everybody, this is Stephen Gardner, best-selling author of Taming Wall Street and A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street. And I wanted to do a book review today of Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game. And I've lost the jacket to this because I don't really like keeping jackets. So anyway, this book is awesome. If you have not read this, I recommend it. I went through it the first time as a book and then the second time as an audio book. And I actually really enjoyed it as an audio book simply because this baby is like 10-point font and almost 650 pages. So it's a serious commitment to read through this. But this book has some really detailed information, almost too detailed unless you're a finance nerd like myself. But some of the things that he talks about is just having a plan in place. I know that sounds really rudimentary, but most people, as Jim Rohn says, take more time planning their vacation than they do their retirement and their lives. And so he really is a big advocate of having a plan in place. And then he builds out different plans for you. And talks about the pitfalls. And I talk about this in A Bridge Over Troubled Wall Street, but one of the biggest pitfalls that you have to bypass is market loss. Market loss does more damage to a portfolio than fees, than small growth or limited growth. And so you have to be very, very cautious of market loss. Another thing that he really hits on are all of these hidden fees. Over 20 hidden fees inside of mutual funds, 17 hidden fees in 401ks. And he goes through and he points those out. He talks about having a good diversified portfolio. Mastering the money game. There's a lot of emotion around money. And so we end up buying high and selling low instead of buying low and selling high. And so once you have enough money, to him, it's like a game, but for us, this is the real world. Somebody pointed out to me the other day, you really only get one good shot at retirement. And so you've got to do it right. And most people, they end up with two shots and it doesn't go well. And so there's two strategies that Tony Robbins talks about in here that I totally agree with. And they're topics that I've written about. But one of them is these indexing hybrid growth accounts where you get the opportunity to mimic the market, but not have any of the downside risk. And so if the market is going up, you get to participate in that. And then if it comes down, the worst that can happen is a zero, right? So zero becomes really powerful, where before people might have looked at that as a negative. But imagine you have $100,000 and then all of a sudden the market drops by 20, 25, 30%. A zero would become incredibly powerful, right? Instead of having a minus $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 loss that's going to take you 4, 5, maybe 6 years to get back to break even. So he talks about that. We have programs we put people in that have done very well. They've been averaging 6 to 8% with no downside risk, and they're backed by companies that have incredible reputations that you may know about the company but not know about these programs, because who you know matters more than what you know in many cases when it comes to big money. The other one that he talks about in Money Master the Game is something called the Rich Man's Roth IRA, and these are awesome. These are like my bread and butter for where I start placing my money before I do any investing. And so he talks about these Rich Man Roth IRAs with these specially built insurance contracts, and they protect you from loss. They protect you in case something were to happen to you, premature death. and they have incredible guarantees and tax advantages that you won't get anywhere else. In fact, Ed Slott says this is the single biggest tax break left in the IRS code, and it may not be around for much longer. So anyway, I highly recommend Money Master the Game. If I can help you master your money game, I'd be happy to do that. You can reach out to me with any questions you have at Stephen with a PH at yourbridgeplan.com. Otherwise, check out Money Master the Game and let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Thanks.